Here we are once again on the third floor of the Rhode Island State House for a segment that we call simply Capitol Spotlight. We corral a member of the General Assembly and talk to them for 5 minutes about things that are going on in our state and how it might affect you, the Rhode Island citizen. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome back a gentleman we've had the good fortune to interview many times, Representative Gus Silva. Representative, good to see you, sir.
Same here, Dave. Thank you for having me.
You represent a community that's been in the news a lot lately, the community of Central Falls. Obviously, the citizens there have been watching closely the goings-on with the receiver, but the entire state, frankly, is watching what the heck is going on there because the city is in turmoil. There are a lot of problems there, but what's going on with this story about the receiver and this chief of staff that's been hired and being paid, what, like $100 an hour or something? Can you bring our viewers up to date on that? Give us an overview of that entire story.
Well, you know, we heard it on the news that Thursday, I think about a week and a half ago, actually. I made a couple of calls because I was very concerned in the allegations that were made against the chief of staff, Gail Corrigan. So I called the governor's office and requested a meeting with the governor to address that issue and other issues with the receivership itself to the governor. So we met, myself, Betty Crowley, and Jim, met with the governor last Thursday, and he asked if we could wait another week to have Rose come in because we really needed to have Rose come in to discuss all these issues because she's the one who deals with the receiver and the financial situation of the city.
Yeah, now, Judge Flanders, who was a receiver, hires this person named Corrigan, as I recall, to be the chief of staff, and then Ms. Corrigan has an assistant that gets like $60 an hour. The aggregate total annual amount would be somewhere in the neighborhood of $300,000 is what Channel 10 reported. And the other allegation is this chief of staff has allegedly been fired from her previous job for some unscrupulous financial dealings. This must have you and the other citizens of Central Falls pretty concerned, at least trying to get to the bottom of all this.
Yes, when Gail came in, she was hired, it was Municipal Management Solutions. That was a company that was hired to come in and help Judge Flanders go through this receivership and bankruptcy process. Joe is an employee of that company also. So that company had a one-year contract. If I recall correctly, it was like $370,000 a year that the city was going to pay for. Now, this, to me, that's a lot of money. The city doesn't have any money, and here we are expected to pay this Municipal Management Solutions company, which Gail owns, as $300,000 a year to come in and help us find money.
Well, and the other thing is, too, we're talking about one of the poorest communities in our state, where a lot of the working folk there make $15,000, $20,000 a year, and you know, to those voters and to those people, that may seem to be a rather exorbitant fee. What do you do next? Where do you go next on this particular topic?
Well, we're having another meeting with the governor either this Thursday or Friday to really address, because we also brought up to the governor that we need him to respond to these allegations that were made against the chief of staff of the receiver, because the people in my community want to know what's going on. So we really feel that because the receiver works for the governor's office, that he should respond to those allegations, because we need to know one way or the other about these allegations.
Well, I hope that we can get you back when you follow up with the governor's office again, and I know you'll want to communicate to your constituents as to what's happening with that matter. You've also taken the bull by the horns and have a couple of pieces of legislation that deal with the whole receiver process. In layman's terms, can you just give us a couple of bullet points as to what you're trying to do?
Well, the biggest one is more to define the roles of a receiver, not only for the city of Central Falls, because we're pretty much through it, but other communities that might be coming down the road who might have to go through this whole process. More define the roles of the receiver and the elected officials or the people in office at that given day, so that way they don't step on each other's toes, you know, and there's certain things that a receiver can do that come in and deal with financial issues in the city, but there's other things, you know, ordinances and simple things that really don't cost any money that the council or the elected officials can deal with on a daily basis. Answer calls about constituents, potholes, things like that. that really don't cost money to answer those calls and address those issues, and right now they can't.
Well, Representative, you seem to really have your thumb on that issue, and there are a lot of really good people in Central Falls, and with your help, we'll try to keep them informed as this story continues to unfold, and to the legislation that you're working on specifically to deal with receivership here in our state. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to talk to us.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you very much.
And of course, we could not do it without you, the viewers. Thanks for watching a segment we like to call Capital Spotlight. Again, our thanks to Representative Silva. Thanks to you for watching. I'm Dave Barber.